Okay, so we're going to start off with some admonitions or an admonition. Admonitions are what occur at the beginning of a deposition, and they can be difficult because the attorneys say them all the time. The card that she's giving you, I don't know if you heard Judy, the person that's usually in here reading with me, she lost her daughter last night after a very, very short but serious illness. So they, I guess, did all they could for her, but so anyway, admonitions. The attorneys say them at the beginning of every deposition, so they're usually fast is why they're difficult. It's not that the terminology is difficult, but they're fast, and it is when they are giving the deponent instructions about the proceeding that's about to occur. So you can kind of get a feel for what that's like just through listening to our dictation here.
And when you start to work, you get lots of briefs for them because they're always the same. You know, admonitions, they always say the same thing.
So this is counted in 20s, which means we will read this at, let's read it in 10s. And that'll be 120. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start. You can just catch up.
Do you want me to be the questioner? Or
Sure.
The question?
Well, I know it kind of screws them up when I'm questioner, huh?
Oh.
You'd rather not. Right?
But that's good for us.
Is it? Okay.
Is it?
Well, it's good to stretch yourself like that, yeah. I mean, you know. But if we do it this way, then I think you wouldn't want to switch for takes,
So,
correct? You'd rather have me be the question for takes, correct?
I didn't want to hear that. Whatever.
Your question,
All right.
10s.
For the record, we are here for a deposition on Wednesday, June 29th, 2010, starting at about 2:19 p.m. Tuesday. It's Tuesday, June 29th. Is this too fast?
You're too slow. 10s. You should need to be 10
Oh, what is the
with
speed?
120.
Okay. All right,
You
sorry
want to be
about
at
that.
10 here.
I thought that
Did he
was
get
so
it all?
good.
Yeah.
All right, for the record. We are here for a deposition on Wednesday, June 29th, 2010, starting at about 2:19 p.m. Tuesday. It's Tuesday, June 29th. It's about 2:22 p.m. Let's see.
You know what? There's a timing mark missing here. That's
Yeah.
too long. This is this is 2 marks. And I don't see where it would be. I could count it out, but there's one missing. And I suspect it's because there's all these numbers here. Somebody didn't count the numbers. So you want to be at 20 here and then 10s from then on.
That's why.
Here we go. We'll get it.
Again, for the record. We are here for a deposition on Wednesday, June 29th, 2010, starting at about 2:19 p.m. Tuesday. It's Tuesday, June 29th. It's about 2:22 p.m. Let's see. We are here with Loretta Duke. Actually, maybe it's more appropriate for everybody to state their own names. My name is Josiah Ace, last name A-C-E. I'm counsel for the plaintiff, Como Consulting Group, Inc. I have an office at 21 Montgomery Street, Suite 579 in San Francisco, California. That's where we are today. Again, I represent Como in Marin Superior Court, case number 090623.
Do I need to give my address?
Oh, no, we will get to that. Can we go off the record for a second? All right. So, Loretta, can we agree for the record that you were served with a subpoena to attend this deposition?
Yes.
I'd like to offer for marking as Exhibit 1 the copy of the subpoena that was served for today's deposition. And Loretta, Can you take a look at Exhibit 1 and answer if that is the deposition subpoena that you received in regards to today's deposition?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Can we also agree that you know what a deposition is? That it is the testimony of a witness under oath taken outside of court in which lawyers are going to ask questions of you?
Yes,
And can we agree that you understand what an oath is? A promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth,
yes,
and that you understand that you must answer truthfully and fully to questions asked of you under penalty of perjury.
yes,
If you are asked a question and you do not know the answer, you can simply say, "I don't know," or "I do not recall."
okay,
And you're going to be asked questions, and the law asks you to give factual information that you have personal knowledge of. Please do not base your answers on something that someone else has said to you unless you are specifically asked for what someone said to you.
okay,
And please speak clearly and loudly for us and for the reporter so that we can hear you. If you're asked a yes or no question, sometimes the tendency is to nod your head or shake your head. Just say yes or no so it goes into the record.
okay,
All right? If at any point you're tired or want to take a break, you can do so at any time.
okay.
So first of all, can you state your address?
5455 Daphne Drive, Richmond, California, 94804.
And what is your occupation?
I'm a software engineer and I work as a consultant.
And who do you currently work for?
I work for Bristol, which used to be Como. They changed their name.
Where do you work? At that company's office?
No, I work from home.
And so then the address, what then is the address of your work?
The address they gave you.
What are your job responsibilities?
Currently, I'm working on technical documentation for Bristol.
And are you aware of anything at all regarding the case for which you are here today as a witness?
Yes,
How familiar are you with the facts of this case?
that's sort of an open-ended question. I have known Bob and Jim for a number of years. I met Jim when we worked at Egret, and he brought in DataFind, which is the program that Bob developed at Egret, and that was back in 2006. So it's through a number of different iterations of the software that I've worked with them.
Who is Jim?
Jim Como, he is a principal of Como.
Who is Bob?
Bob Jameson, and he's the software developer of the particular software we're talking about that's had a number of different names. Okay, I'm gonna go forward, and we're gonna do another section, but I want to first have you hit this section for read back. We'll read it back and then we'll repeat it what's at the beginning. Okay, so we're going to start here, and it'll be in 10. No, we need it to slow down. Let's do it in 12s for readback, okay?
Begins with a question for the record. Is your mind clear today? Are you able to proceed with your deposition?
Yes.
Which name do you use when you sign legal documents in the state of California? How do you sign your name?
Jonathan P. Holton.
Have you ever been known by any different names?
Yes, John. I'm known as John by my friends.
So you go by John Holton?
Yes,
What is your current residence address?
4612 Norman Avenue, Norman Avenue, Yuba City, 2 words, California, 95991.
95991.
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived at that address?
I receive my mail at that address.
Where do you currently reside?
I'm not currently. I'm staying from motel to motel. From time to time, I pick up my mail at a friend's place. Okay, very short, but let's take a look at it. Go ahead, Kate.
Is your question, is your mind clear today? Are you able to proceed with your deposition? Answer, yes. Question, which name do you use when you sign legal documents in the state of California? How do you sign your name? Answer, Jonathan P. Holton. Question, have you ever been known by any different names? Answer, yes. John, I'm known as John by my friends. Question, so you go by John Holton? Answer, yes.
Good, thank you. Go ahead, Anderson.
Question, what is your current residence address? Answer, 4612 Norman Avenue, Norma Avenue,
A.N.
AN Avenue. Yuba City, 2 words, California. 95991. Question, 95991. Answer, yes, sir. Question, how long have you lived at that address? Answer, I received my mail at that address. Question, where do you currently reside? Question, answer, I'm not currently, I know I dropped where it says that he's in the hotel or something.
Well, just read what you have.
I am not currently, and then I think I got there, and then it says, I'm staying from time to time.
Okay, so you have, what it should be is after currently, I'm staying, you have that, from motel to motel, period. From
time to time, I pick up my mail at a friend's place.
Okay. These two do really well. Okay, so I want to get something with my exchange. So we're going to actually skip over. We're not going to repeat that because you almost got it all. You guys got that. So we're going to do this one and we'll go back to tens. This will not be for reback, just more warm-up.
Begins with a question for the record. Could you state your full name for the record and spell your last name?
Melinda K. Barron, B-A-R-R-O-N,
Your business address?
556 18th Street, Suite 100, Oakland, 94612.
Ms. Barron, my name is Wilbur Byers. We met prior to the commencement of this deposition. I represent the plaintiffs in this lawsuit. Have you had your deposition taken before?
I have,
Approximately how many times?
I don't remember,
Okay. Could it be more than 10?
probably,
More than 20?
probably not,
Okay. So somewhere between 10 and 20?
probably.
And how many times have you had your deposition taken as an expert? If you can give me an estimate.
It would be the same number.
Okay. And given that you've had your deposition taken before, you understand the nature of these proceedings and the consequences of giving testimony at this deposition?
Yes,
And you understand this is a judicial proceeding. You're under oath. The testimony that you give at this deposition has the same force and effect as though you were testifying in court. Do you understand that?
yes,
Now, at the conclusion of this proceeding, the court reporter will transcribe your deposition into booklet form. Do you understand that you will be given an opportunity to review the booklet and to make any changes or corrections that you wish to your testimony?
yes, I do.
Okay, and you understand also that in the event that you do make any changes or corrections in the transcript, that the attorneys here, should this matter proceed to trial, are permitted to comment to the court of the jury on those changes.
Yes,
Okay, now would you tell me what your business or occupation is?
I'm a real estate appraiser.
And you're an MAI appraiser?
I am.
And how long have you been an MAI?
I believe since 1993.
How long have you been in the real estate appraisal field altogether?
Since 1985, 1986.
And are you self-employed?
I am.
And how long have you been self-employed?
Approximately 13 years.
And prior to that time, you were employed by someone else?
I was.
And by whom were you employed?
A firm called Bradford and Welch.
And how long were you with that firm?
2 or 3 years.
Do you have a real estate license,
A sales license?
broker, or salesman's license?
I do not.
Have you ever had one?
No.
Do you specialize in the appraisal of any particular type of real property?
What do you mean by that?
Well, does your appraisal practice, is it concentrated in any particular type of property, like commercial, industrial versus residential?
It tends to be focused on commercial, industrial, and land.
Vacant land?
Yes, with some residential issues.
Okay, and is your appraisal practice concentrated in any particular geographic location?
Most of the work is in Alameda County, but occasionally I do work elsewhere.
Okay. What other locations or areas have you done appraisal work?
I recently completed an appraisal of vacant land in Santa Clara County.
Anywhere else?
Recently, I can't remember any other locations.
Can you give me just some examples of the commercial industrial type properties that you've done appraisals for in the last 5 years in Alameda County?
I just thought of one in Contra Costa County,
Okay.
which was the old historic Ford plant. It's on the water in Richmond.
In Richmond?
Yes,
Is that the old assembly plant over there?
Model T plant.
Yeah, we were involved in litigation on that one.
Oh, you know the property?
Yes. Now, getting back to my last question, can you give me some examples of the types of properties that you've appraised within the last 5 years in Alameda County?
I've recently completed some appraisals of vacant land that the East Bay Regional Park District was interested in acquiring. I appraised a number of pieces that the Oakland Housing Authority was interested in acquiring.
What was the existing use of that property at the time you appraised it?
The property had different uses. It included some industrial properties. It included some land that the city of Oakland was using for a park. It included some land that had old public housing on it that was being demolished, and it included some other vacant land.
Okay. Any other appraisals that you can think of?
I've done lots of appraisals in the last 5 years.
But are there any that jump out at you as you're testifying here because of their size or the complexity of the appraisal or the uniqueness of the property?
The Ford plant.
Other than this particular case, have you done appraisals for the city? You mentioned the Oakland Housing Authority. That's a separate entity, isn't it?
The Oakland Housing Authority is a separate entity.
What about the city of Oakland? Have you done any appraisals for the city other than this case?
I've done other appraisals for the city of Oakland. Is that challenging?
Do you have a brief for real estate?
Ooh, that would be a good brief.
RAELS.
That's what I was thinking, rails.
Appraisal, I invert my F a lot of times for F's. So I do PR long A F L.
Appraisal?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what, I think we're gonna do so.
I do the same thing with residential. I do REFNL. Because I use the F as an S. And then residence is REFNS instead of L.
Ooh, how do we get reference? FR?
REFRNS.
Mhm. Close, very close. Okay, let's do this one. The witness is a doctor. Doesn't always mean it's going to have much medical in it, though. And this one is a lot of giving his, what we call his CV, curriculum vitae is what CV stands for. Oftentimes, if you're taking the testimony of an expert, they don't have a resume, they have a CV, curriculum vitae. Really? And it's typically, you know, it's longer than a resume, and it has all their, like if they've ever been published, they might have that kind of thing on it. It's just more involved. So let's go ahead and work on this one, and we're gonna stay in 10.
Okay.
Because I think these guys are getting enough of a challenge with the material.
Begins with a question for the record. Doctor, have you ever had your deposition taken before?
Yes, I have.
On how many occasions?
Several,
More than 10
yes.
and more than 50?
Well, I am not sure about that.
Have you given court testimony before?
Yes, I have.
On how many occasions?
Less than 10.
Do you feel it necessary for me to go through the customary admonitions and ground rules of a deposition prior to giving testimony?
No, I pretty much know them.
Just a reminder, I would like to remind you that you are under oath, and that is the same oath as if you were in a court of law giving sworn testimony. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Eventually, doctor, your medical legal evaluation was transposed or converted into a letter directed to Roland Kelly.
I presume. This is what I was given when I asked for the records.
Doctor, when you have given court testimony in the past, that has been as an expert witness?
Well, I guess you would say that if a patient I treated had some reason they went to court, then that is why I was there. They were patients that I have treated, as I remember.
Doctor, currently, how much of your,
This is, okay, so we're reading this in 20s, which is too fast because this is counted for 200. So that was 150.
I think it's medical legal.
You think what?
It's MEDICO, not medical.
Oh, I
I
don't
would
know.
say medical legal.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened when I read this morning in first period. What I wrote it down. I was thinking this is counted in 20s. What were you referring to? Oh, really?
I remember I learned that all reporters learn that as soon as they get out there, they're like,
Because it's a subject matter.
well, it
term.
makes sense that it would be medical legal, but it's
Yeah.
medico legal.
Okay, so we're gonna start over, and we need to read this in. I'm sorry, get this going here right. That was a nice little push for you. But this is counted at 200, and we want to read it at 120. Oh yeah, and it's one word. Interesting. There's my new word for the day. Medico, MEDICOLEGAL. One word, medico legal.
And what is that?
But I have seen it.
It means, well, let me look here. Performed a medical legal evaluation. So it's a medical evaluation for legal purposes, basically.
So when they say medical legal, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not really wrong. It's just,
Okay, 120. We need to do this in 25s. Things like that. So it's a long way to your time mark, so you gotta pace yourself. Okay, here we go.
for the record, doctor, have you ever had your deposition taken before?
Yes, I have
On how many occasions?
several.
More than 10
Yes.
and more than 50?
Well, I am not sure about that.
Have you given court testimony before?
Yes, I have.
On how many occasions?
Less than 10.
Do you feel it necessary for me to go through the customary admonitions and ground rules of a deposition prior to giving testimony?
No, I pretty much know them.
Just a reminder, I would like to remind you that you are under oath, and that is the same oath as if you were in a court of law giving sworn testimony. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Eventually, doctor, your medical legal evaluation was transposed on or converted into a letter directed to Roland Kelly.
I presume. This is what I was given when I asked for the records.
Doctor, when you have given court testimony in the past, that has been as an expert witness?
Well, I guess you could say that. If a patient I treated had some reason they went to court, then that is why I was there. They were patients that I have treated, as I remember.
Doctor, currently how much of your practice is private practice versus providing medical legal evaluation?
Probably 99% is private practice.
And how long has it been 99% private practice?
As long as I can remember. I mean, I don't do this very much.
Within the last 5 years, can you approximate how many medical legal evaluations you have performed?
Probably been less than 5.
Did you say less than 5?
Yes, less than 5.
And have you ever performed a medical legal evaluation for Mr. Donner's firm?
No, I have not.
Within the past 5 years, do you recall the names of any of the defense attorneys that you have performed medical legal evaluations for?
No.
Doctor, where is your current private practice?
Here at Loma Linda.
Do you mean the main Loma Linda facility?
Yes,
How long have you been working here at Loma Linda?
about 9 years, I think. Yes, just about 9 years.
And you are a medical doctor, is that correct?
Yes.
And do you have any specialties?
Orthopedic surgery.
Are you board certified in orthopedic surgery?
Yes.
How long have you been board certified?
It's listed in my CV. I am not sure what the date is.
I will check your CV, thanks.
Okay.
Do you have any subspecialties in orthopedics?
Joint reconstruction.
Doctor, are you on the staffs of any hospitals as an orthopedic surgeon?
Here at Loma Linda,
Staff privileges anywhere else?
at the VA hospital here in Loma Linda.
How long have you had your staff privileges here at Loma Linda?
About the same length of time I have been here.
How long have you had staff privileges at the VA hospital at Loma Linda?
Approximately the same, I think.
Have you had any staff privileges at any other hospitals since you became a medical doctor?
There have been several through training and private practice and so forth, most of them short term.
Do you remember the names of those hospitals?
Well, let's see. Private practice, it was Salmon River Community Hospital. And there were probably other hospitals there, but I am not sure.
Are you licensed to practice medicine in the state of Michigan?
Yes,
Do you keep that license active?
yes, I do.
And are you licensed to practice medicine in any other state?
Not currently.
Have your staff privileges ever been suspended at any hospital?
No,
Has your license ever been suspended or revoked in the state of Michigan?
no,
Doctor, you charge $500 an hour for deposition testimony time. Is that correct?
that is a departmental standard.
Okay. And any hour over an hour is prorated for time spent giving deposition testimony.
That's my understanding, yes.
Doctor, I brought a check to take care of the deposition time. I don't anticipate it going much over an hour, but it may. Do you have any set billing rate for your time to give testimony at the time of trial?
I am sure. Again, there is a departmental protocol, but I don't know what it is.
Do you have any idea as to how much the department requires for court testimony?
I am not certain. I mean, I heard, we talked about it. Whenever I have done it, that is what it has been, but I don't know what that number is.
In regards to medical legal evaluations, doctor, are you aware of the charges for the examination itself?
This is not an area I practiced in a lot, so I don't know. I can't really tell you much about that.
Okay. You also do medical record reviews along with your examination. Is that correct?
Right, or any time I am doing it. I mean, the medical record review, whether it's industrial cases or these types of cases, medical, legal, and review of cases for depositions are usually all of the records, but not always. Sometimes I will do a portion of the records only. Okay, we're going to do one more piece of warm-up before we start takes. Grab former EV360s. Did you do these briefs or somebody else?
The light ones I do, but.
You didn't do this handout.
Let's see. The office now.
Okay.
Lost from my court.
Yeah.
The good ones.
Yeah, we've been whittling away at them. Okay, let's work on this one. And this is counted in 20s. doesn't know that, so we can do this in Teams.
Begins with the question for the record. Did he tell you why?
No, just he wanted to. Extra money, I guess.
Did he ever tell you he wanted to sell pot to pay for your drug use?
No, because prior to his selling pot, I didn't smoke it in the house or in our marriage. Prior to his selling it, I didn't smoke it. There was no habit to support.
Did any of these 3-day parties take place during her life?
Oh, yeah, but she wasn't there.
Where would she be?
She would be with his sister.
You've read Dr. Mann's recommendation with regard to a CASA and potential 5-year drug testing on yourself. Would you be amenable to following her recommendations should you be granted custody?
I'll do what I have to do to get custody of Kelly
Why?
because I don't believe that she needs to be there. Can I get a tissue?
Yes.
There's no one on Kelly's side. She has no one to talk to. She comes home all the time because she has no one literally on her side, no one to stand up for her. Fairway's always wrong. She's always the liar. She is always the one telling mistruths. Anything she reports that Nancy has done to her, John discounts, casts off, counts it as a lie. She comes home, Amber and Ashley, who are Nancy's daughters, are wearing her clothing without permission. Nothing is sacred. She doesn't have her own room. She doesn't have her own space. It's whatever gets shared with Kelly. She doesn't see her dad. She spends all of her time with Nancy. According to her, very little time with Daddy. Very little time. She says she doesn't even know why he wants her.
How many bedrooms does John's house have?
3, potentially 4,
Why do you say potentially?
because one of them he was using as an office, but it's a possible bedroom.
Do you know how long he's lived in that house?
Yes. Since we picked it out and moved in together,
What year?
94.
Okay.
No, 93. We moved in 93.
And where do his 2 stepdaughters live or sleep in that house, rather?
I'm not sure which rooms are theirs.
But they each have a room in your impression?
Yes.
And has John told you whether or not Kelly would have her own room if he be granted custody?
No,
Where do you live now?
I live in a 3-bedroom apartment in Valparaiso.
Can you state your address for the court?
Sure. It's 1710 Vale Park Road, apartment 602, Valparaiso, Indiana, 46383.
And you've signed a lease with them?
Yes, I have.
How long is that lease going?
It's good through October, and then they reevaluate you.
Are you going to stay there in October?
Yeah, I would like to stay there. I like it very much.
You've heard Dr. Mann testify, and Attorney Foster made some statements as to differences that have taken place since the last meetings with Dr. Mann until now. Who is Cliff?
Cliff was my boyfriend for about 2 years.
When did you meet Cliff?
When did I originally meet Cliff? Before I ever met John.
When did you make him your boyfriend?
This time, I'm sorry, 99.
And that was 2 years after you filed for divorce? Correct.
Yes,
When did you move in with Cliff?
September of 2000.
All right. And does Cliff have any other children?
No,
It was just you and Melanie and Kelly and Cliff, right?
yes,
And when did you move out from Cliff's home?
November of 2001.
Why did that happen?
Because I wanted to. It had always been my intention to get back out to Valparaiso. I always wanted to go back out there. I like Valparaiso, and that came up. And I don't want to say that Cliff and I weren't getting along that great, but we were arguing a bit, but we didn't break up when I moved out. We still continued to date.
How long did you continue to date after you moved out in November of 2001?
Until February of 2002.
3 more months?
Yes,
All right. What kind of relationship does Cliff have with Kelly?
they have a good relationship.
Do they have an ongoing relationship?
He's seen her since we have broken up. Yes. Who's that one? Okay, did you get my email, Araceli? Okay, so can you bring your laptop tomorrow? And then ask Ms. Close today when she comes in what time she wants to meet with you. And you can get that program loaded on your laptop. And then on Monday, this is what I wanted to get with you guys also. On Monday, would it be possible for you to just log into the program and I will, did I do it by inviting you? Let
You sent me the link, and then I clicked on it.
Good question. We already did that.